Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today is April 10th, 2021. And we are on the featured sign today as I go around my zodiac wheel with the sign of Capricorn. Wonderful earth grounded energy of Capricorn. And so right before you, I'm going to be pulling your highlighted connection, Capricorn, which I do every day. I do a featured sign, which is the predominance of the reading. And then I do a highlighted right in front of you, which is spontaneous. But Spirit needs you to have information regarding this connection. This connection can be in any form of love. It could be absolutely an idea or some kind of strong desire you have to achieve something, and the love you have for that, as well as, of course, relationships and so forth. So let's pick that really fast for you. And then I read three major categories and in regards to this particular highlighted connection. I go from there to read a rune that kind of just is that, period at the end of it. So it kind of really culminates the messages. And then I go on to my two oracle messages that I love to read for every single Capricorn and every one of your connections. So if this highlighted connection isn't really vibing or resonating, there's messages in all of my readings for every single person in this planet, on this planet, both. So let me see what your highlighted connection is. Ooh, you have Taurus. I just read for Taurus yesterday. I'm going to have to pass. I will tell you this though. It's a beautiful harmony, and what it tells to me right off the bat when Spirit does this, as it did yesterday, we're in Aries season. In fact, we have Aries, the sun is in Aries, the moon is in Aries, and will be an incredible new moon I'll talk about in just a bit. We have Mercury in Aries, all about communication, mind, movement, connection, commerce, getting things done, action, that sort of thing. And then we have Venus, love, compassion, money, brilliance, magic, feeling good. And I think that's it, but that's a lot. So there's a lot of fire energy going on right now. And then we have the season of Taurus starting a week from tomorrow, give or take a day. It's probably on a Monday, a week from this coming Monday. So I can see where Taurus energy is kind of really edging in there, not to mention the fact that Uranus, that outer planet, that's very important. It does affect us. The outer planets are slower moving, so they have they do affect us, but probably not as much as the inner planets like, Mars, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But nevertheless, it does affect us, and it is in the sign of Taurus, and it will be till 2023. That's really actually very, very complimentary for you, Capricorn. So I think that you're doing well, and it's more of a challenging position when you have Aries. As much as you love that fire and ambition, because we all do, and it gets us motivated, and you're a very motivated person as well, Capricorn, because you too are a cardinal sign like Aries is, and cardinal is all about initiating, pioneering, starting, leading. You usually are in charge. You're the one that opens the doors for people and brings in the insights that weren't there before. And so that energy is beautiful. But let's face it, when you have a season or planets that are predominantly in your energy, it's going to feel even better, right? So yeah, that's happening now. And so I think it makes sense that you would have Taurus, but let's go in one more round here and see what other information that we can have for your highlighted. And that's going to be, whoops, it went right off the table. Three's the charm. Libra. Okay. Well, Libra full moon happened on the 28th of March, and people are still feeling that energy. So between Libra's balance, air quality, which, we have, Jupiter and Saturn, your ruling planet, your ruling planet, Capricorn, that's that taskmaster. That's what keeps you so motivated and so driven. And you are not about to stop until you succeed and reach your goals, and that's just what you're all about. When I think of Capricorns, I think of them being incredibly grounded, down to earth, hardworking, dedicated, very resourceful, very, very ingenious. Let's just put it that way. You can really be the creator of so many things. That's that beautiful kind of harmonious parallel energy with Aries that I spoke of. And, you know, you're in it for the long haul. You want luxury, you want success, and you are that goat symbol where, you know, you're going to climb any mountain or any obstacle because you're going to get to the other side by hook or by crook. That's your mentality. You have the Saturn, you know, motivation and the ability to focus and to be kind of stern. And, you know, there's that pretty serious energy around you a lot of times because you mean business, you know, and you usually acquire a lot of business and you have a lot of businesses and you're really, really good at what you do. You tend to want to just do it yourself a lot of times because you want to make sure it's done properly. You're a true blue friend, very, very loyal, you know, kind of in the background a lot of times. I wouldn't say you're overtly, you know, personality-wise, you know, an extrovert in any way, unless you have fire in your chart or even air. But besides getting off the beaten path, so Libra, your highlighted connection is pretty cool because she too is or he, I say she because Venus is the ruling planet, and Venus is a very feminine energy. And it is, once again, about money and beauty and beautiful aesthetics and feeling good and magic that comes in relationships, you know, and involvement. And that's what Libra's about. That's her main thing in life, is being in relationships, having that connection with others, communicating with people, expressing air, you know, mind, thought. Masculine in a lot of ways. Any air is known for masculine because it's all about here. It's about the mind. It doesn't necessarily let the emotion and the heart, you know, interfere, and it will detach that. But all in all, it's about fairness and peace and justice and cooperation with Libra. And who doesn't like that? You know, I mean, easygoing is always really good. I'm not saying it's always easygoing. If there isn't fairness, Libra's going to say something about it most of the time. They're going to be very direct a lot of times, you know. They mean business because they want that fairness. And I think it's a good trait. A lot of times you'll find them in, you know, careers of law and, you know, judges and lawyers and so forth. Or even on the other spectrum of, you know, medicine and stuff like that. Just finding the right way to actually help people, you know, and the right medicines to maybe cure a lot of the things going on out there is what comes to mind. But you know, both very, very willing to work together and come up with a solution that will work for both parties. The thing about, you know, you Capricorn is you love work, and because of that Saturn ruling aspect, it's always been in your blood. So I would just say, with the whole Libra influence that I'm being shown and what you're being told about today, it's about balance. Finding that balance between your relationships and your work. Your family and your work, your friends and your family, you know, all of the variables there, because that's what Libras are always striving for, and that's what makes them the best and the whole, you know, the holistic aspect of them that they always want to exude to other people. And so, yeah, I guess the main thing that I'm getting is that there's great opportunities, great interest in working together, maybe having a partnership in a work scenario really comes to mind. With the Aquarius energy of Jupiter this year and Saturn very closely neck to neck this whole year, pretty much, it rings well with you because you have that drive and everything. And with the Aries energy and the new moon tomorrow, I was getting back to, it's about new, it's about starting, it's about intentions, it's about really, really firming up plans to change and reinvent and rejuvenate and all the things that you've been putting out there but haven't really had any traction. I don't think that's going to be an issue after this new moon, if your heart and soul is in it, which it generally always is. So it's very, very promising, and it's a long-term kind of permanence when you have the earth energy that you have, Capricorn, and that's gorgeous. And then once again, from that full moon, it's about the mind and the way to express, the way to say the things in the way that are going to be more receptive to people. Aries energy with the fiery kind of Mars ruler aspect can be sometimes maybe getting away from our patience that you are so well known for, Capricorn. It can bring that out in you. I'm not going to say it will happen. It's things to just kind of remind ourselves and be aware of. And, you know, just definitely working towards permanence, you know, and stability and the balance. And it feels good, and it feels right, and it feels exciting, and it feels like it's the time. So maybe a different level in the relationship comes to mind, you know, with this new beautiful energy coming through. And I'm going to read you your 3 major categories, because that's going to give us even more insight as to what this highlighted connection is about. If you don't know a Libra right now, you might, I would say, think about people in your family or, you know, close friends or work relationships that you know and you may not necessarily know when they're born. That would be the latter part of September, like September 23rd to October 22nd. So if you don't know somebody like that, it could definitely be somebody with these mannerisms or these personality traits. You yourself could have a lot of air in your chart, and you're just really feeling in tune with that energy. And that full moon could last for upwards of a month, and it's only been, well, this Sunday will make 2 weeks. So I feel like that's really meant a lot to you. It has a lot to do with how you're feeling about love and relationships and how you want to work through things. Maybe before it was a little more difficult, but you've decided and made this choice with this new moon. It's going to happen. I'm going to put out that effort. It could be about your health and well-being. I have clients as a massage therapist. Honestly, this year in particular, they have a whole new attitude. This last year really kind of did numbers on people's mental and physical states, you know, for a lot of reasons. And now it's just like, that has to go. I have a whole new objective, you know, I'm on a mission, and it's going to be better. And the better you feel, obviously everything kind of really falls into place, and you bring that kind of wonderful energy towards you. So the first category is always the overall energy that brought you to this reading. And you have the 2 of Swords. I've not seen a lot of these. This is the Queen of Tarot's deck, the Queens of Tarot deck. It is amazing, and I'm just always in awe at the illustration aspect, because it's so intricate and so beautiful. And it's very bold, it's very matter of fact, and you know what I love so much? The 2 of the Swords is it's about a decision. But I've looked at this card in many ways, and I've listened to other readers, and what I really took with, for me, that makes the most sense is it is an air element. It is the Libra, Gemini, or Aquarian energy. It is about our mind. It is about making a choice and a decision, but knowing that it's not an issue because you've got one in each hand kind of in a cross position. Generally with the Rider-Waite Smith, not so much here. You have somebody with a blindfold on, so they're more internalizing the choice they have to make. Either one they make will be just great, okay? But it's a matter of just like, okay, let me really sit and think. You know, that's what air signs do. That's what their whole thing is. And then you've got the new moon, which is tomorrow. So whatever you're thinking about, you're going to have that whoosh, that natural, beautiful push in the direction that's the right one. And I might add that it could be 2 different aspects. You know, there might be 2 choices that are both going to be okay. It's just weighing them out, you know, like the Libra does, and balancing them for the sake of the 2 of you, because it's about partnership as well. How perfect is that? It really bodes well with the energy and what's really going on. And yeah, in conversations, you know, choices, decisions. Yeah, maybe 2 opportunities that are coming in and deciding, okay, well, we can do both, but let's just think about the time investment and the value and so forth, which brings me up to the point that in addition to entering into Taurus season on the 19th, we have a full moon in Scorpio. That's all about your value. That is the deepest, you know, ruled by Pluto. And Pluto is all about our transformation inside out, boy. You know, it always starts from within. Serious conversations, getting rid of things and doubts. And, you know, the devil represents you, Capricorn, but not in a harsh way, not like in a religious way. It's temptations and doubts that we tend to have about things, you know, because that's what our mind does. And it doesn't do us any good. So when we're aware of that and we're very honest with ourselves and saying, okay, that's not really happening. I don't want to think in those terms anymore. And right off the bat, things will improve, just saying. Secondly, it could be about vices you have, or, you know, the ways you have been doing things in the past year that weren't normal for you. And you're like, that has to go. I mean, No, that's not done me any good. And yeah, it takes a while when you've been put in a situation you had no control over, and it seemed to go on and on, and you start to get that routine, right? You're definitely focused on absolutely negating anything like that anymore. So yeah, I don't know. There's just very, very positive healing energy coming through with that Scorpio, you know, and the Scorpio is the 8th house. The 8th house is about life and death and transformation and inheritance and the realities of life. They're not always pretty, but they are part of what we need to experience and grow from. And a lot of times it happens to us, and other times we make it happen. And that's the kind of energy and mindset you're in right now. And I think a lot of times you are anyway, but it's beautiful. So yes, decisions, conversations, choices, new moon influence, okay? And then the second category is the overall blessings or obstacles. And you have the 8 of Pentacles. Whoo! You make this choice or choices. Both of them are good. It's just working out and balancing how you're going to incorporate that into your life. And then you have the 8 of Pentacles. And this is about mastering. This is, you know, the earth element. This is you, Capricorn. This is what you do. This is how you live and how you've always just known instinctually the importance of money, the way to manage money, the way to invest, the way to work hard and know that, you know, yeah, it's time consuming. It takes a lot, but I want what it brings. I want to see it, and feel the comforts of my labor, you know. And there you have a tree of diamonds, 8 pentacles being stacked up because you're like, yeah, And then there's another one that becomes a 9 that's quite independent, and it's like just making sure, you know, exactly what it is you want to save and give and, you know, protect. And then 10 is everything. It's the ultimate. You're not that far. So this is absolutely beautiful. You will make the right choices. You know, when you sit and you really allow and ask the universe to guide you, that's exactly what will happen, as long as you're okay with not having to know the exact way that it occurs. I'm sure you've heard that 100 times or more because it's true. You know, there's many times I've said, this is what I would love, but I try not to be too specific so that you can open up to more possibilities. And I encourage you to do that as well. But write down anything you darn well feel like with this intentional, you know, energy and newness of this new moon. And the final category is always finances. And that's important to you and everybody, Capricorn. Like I said, you are incredibly good and resourceful. And you have the devil. Whew, interesting, huh? We just spoke of that. Well, this is you. This is you really being honest with yourself. This is the Capricorn energy. This is, whoa, look at this. Chains and relationships and all the things that, you know, sometimes money, you know, the diamonds, the trust, it says, safety. I mean, what are you questioning? What are you putting forth in your mind that's not feeling right, that you don't really have to be doing? And what are you planning to do to change that? This is there to help you. This is a guidance. It truly is. It seems ominous and so, you know, serious. And that's what Pluto is. I mean, very serious, but also very, very important, because that's how we evolve. That's how we evolve. I don't know anybody that I've admired and really respected and looked up to that hasn't had times and circumstances where things just, they were about the devil. They were about really being truthful and honest and just sorting through. And in the end, you were able to create a much better space or life or relationship and all the other things, you know. And it's not always easy, but you can do, everybody can do this, right? And I know you want to, because you want to be wealthy. And this is just reminding you, there are ways to be wealthy, and there are ways to kind of slow the process down a little bit. This is a major arcana here. It didn't come up for no reason, and it's very interesting because we did talk about it, but also because I mentioned that is your card, Capricorn. You're very much in your element. Last year was all about Capricorn. And Pluto is still in your, you know, your sign, and it will be retrograding. So there you go, as far as not only It'll be retrograding for like 5 months. It does every year. And it's really taking a real good inward look, taking stock. What is feeling good? What isn't? Don't kid yourself. Don't lie about it. And make those efforts and make those changes. And you'll be flying high. That is beautiful. I love it. It's excellent. And you've got the Eight of Pentacles that's, you know, showing you can have it all. But what are you doing to have it all? Does that include energies and situations that are not to your highest good? Only you know that. This is a general reading. But I will say that I'm actually really loving that energy, and it's very helpful and very, you know, obviously there to protect and to guide you. We're going to put that period on this particular highlighted connection message reading, though, with the beautiful... I'm actually going to pick it up. I literally just picked this. Let me shake these up more. And I love runes. They're an amazing tool and divination that have been around forever. I have never picked this one, thankfully. And what I do is I use the back because I'm just learning these. I've seen them for years, but I've never memorized. I have the picture that I go by. Okay, so you have Wunjo, W-N-J-O, and it's number 8. That's the manifestation number, boy. That is the power number. That is about abundance and the the unlimited ability to acquire it. Lack is actually not in the equation with the number 8. So I like that for you, and it just happens to be going on the 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, there's a lot. It's not unusual for you. You are a successful person in general. Doesn't matter the gender, of course. But I feel like there's a real sense of productive kind of, you know, energy that's really bringing you a lot of happiness and fulfillment. And it could have to do with the Libra, like I said, very clearly, or not. So I find you to be very independent. You're certainly capable of achieving great things on your own. But of course, we all want love and relationships. And you're no exception, Capricorn. So that is number 8. I'm going to go and read you the specific messages it has to say as well. And it says this is between the period of October 14th and October 28th. So there you go. That is the period of Libra and on to Scorpio. There is this connection there. And then, of course, like I said, water and earth energy together are extremely harmonious and very, very suited for each other, very complementary for each other. And that's what Scorpio provides for you. And, excuse me, and like I said, that full moon Scorpio is going to really bring a light onto whatever you need to really see and to delve into, okay, with the deepest of perspection and with the understanding and willingness to improve, to, you know, to lift yourself up. So the words as well are union, faithfulness, complicity with the Libra, help in your work, career opportunities, wishes are granted, dangers are avoided, rebound after having touched bottom. Man, that feels good to be able to say those words. And I mean, it's in relation to what we've talked about. Maybe the devil was something that happened that really just kind of knocked you off your game, you know, and you kind of lost sight of your ambitions and your dreams, whatever it was. And it's the best thing because you're not going to let that happen again. It's not something you'll repeat. And that's the best part about our lives. We can always reinvent and restart over again, you know, and that's all about Scorpio. So I love that for you. I hope you resonate immediately. I always suggest you come back for the mid-month readings because this is the first half of April, then I do the last half. And you can compare notes. A lot of times it's been very much on a flow, you know, it's on the same vein right now. Ever since, I would say after the retrograde in February, which was, for me, it was a lot. And it is for a lot of people. And the next one's at the end of May, so we'll start feeling that shadow period, you know, about mid-May, but we won't talk about that now. I'm going to move on to the 2 finishing messages for every single Capricorn and every one of your connections. And you know who that is, so I hope this hits home in a beautiful way. And the first one is the beautiful Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And it has one word and a number. And then I read from the book because it's just very, very, very insightful. And it's sent from love. And it guides us, you know, it guides us and reminds us of things that we probably knew or had, you know, at one point felt, because we're all connected. The consciousness is there when we're open to it. And it's just, yeah, it's just a reminder. So for you, beautiful Capricorns, and all your connections, your messages, happy, happy. I mean, I've never pulled this one. It is 26 and that equals 8. So that's 3 8s. And I mean, that's the infinity. That's just, there's just, nothing ever ends, you know, or begins. It's just continuum, and we can make it and break it and do whatever we choose. It is our birthright. And happy, happy really makes me happy, happy for you, I'll tell you. Look at the star, that's the Aquarian energy, and the wishes and dreams and beliefs, because you're one of those people that just, you don't give up. That's not in your, you know, DNA. And you got some real important aspirations and emotional connections that you really want to live and strive and improve. And I'm happy for you. Let me read to you what it says specifically. And it does say 26. I just love it. This is so perfect. That's at the end though. Yeah, middle actually. Where'd you go? Almost there. Okay, so 26. The essential meanings: joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. Boy, I love those times. I'm a Libra too. Those balanced feelings of just like, and I don't need a lot. It's not because of any materialistic thing necessarily. It's just that feeling like all is well. You know, I've got this, that, I've got all more than I need. And that's always a beautiful kind of place to come from too. So one more thing, your oracle message: your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to express the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. And that might be that energy of devil that kind of comes in like, oh, but if, look at this shiny thing over here, and look at what you could have if you know, went out of your comfort zone or worked too hard and didn't have the connections with others. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside of yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for you now. Enjoy playful splashing in it. Isn't that gorgeous? Well, you deserve that. And you know that you do. I know that inside you know that. So I'm happy to share the messages. That's why I love doing my readings. And of course, last but not least, my beautiful super attractor manifestation deck, which is really manifesting the life we choose, the feelings we choose, you know, putting out these feelings that are incredibly happy and, you know, content. Will just add and bring in all sorts of things. You don't even have to really imagine. You can, but you know it's kind of fun to know that this kind of energy brings back such beautiful things. And I don't even know specifically why, but I see this, and then I felt that, and I noticed that person did this, and it's just it's overwhelming with love. It's so incredibly beautiful, and I know that you're that kind of person to do that as well. So of course that's going to happen, because like attracts like. So your message, and in closing of this reading, but before I do, if you have not subscribed, I would greatly appreciate you pushing that subscribe bell, or actually it's a button, and then, you know, the notification bell if you want to know when I upload. I do it different times. I try to be as much similar, but I do have my other job. Liking is great, sharing is great, and commenting is phenomenal. That's what I love the most, and I will always respond. Any questions you may have, I'm here for you, okay? We're in this together. Your message, oh my gosh. Whoo, that bright, bright red. That's the Aries. That's the energy coming through for everybody. It's intense and it's beautiful, and it's really exciting. And my true safety lies in my capacity to align with the love of the universe. And that's the long and the short of it, boy. That's period, exclamation point, whatever. That's it. There's a lot of love. And there you've got that new moon again. What do you have in mind? What are you going to start for yourself? That's so exciting, right? Even if it's the same job or the same relationship, there's always something you can spark that's new in it, you know, and it's really essential that we do that in our lives. But I absolutely love this reading. It's a go, it's a yes. It's an upbeat, beautiful reading, and I'm happy for you. So enjoy today, the rest of the weekend, the new moon. Oh gosh, it's going to be great. And like I said, it'll last a long time. So whatever you're starting, 6 months or more down the line. So, you know, you have the patience. I look forward to being nosy and hearing about it. But take wonderful care of yourself. Until next time, thank you very much, and bye for now.